Hello, I'm Matthew from Tutovox.fr and welcome to this step-by-step video to learn how to play Obscurio. If you'd like to access specific chapters of this video, feel free to use the index in the video description below. This symbol will appear during the video to focus on important information and common mistakes. At the end of the video, a screen will summarize all these points. Obscurio is a game in which most players act as wizards trying to escape a library by interpreting the meaning of certain pictures, helped by another player, the Grimoire. However, a traitor has slipped into their midst. The Grimoire will not speak, but rather send pictures to guide the whole team and has to cope with the traitor's interference. The wizards want to escape the library by choosing the right doors and will win with the Grimoire they escape. The traitor is hidden among the wizards and should mislead the group. The traitor wins if the wizards lose all cohesion points. Here's how to set up a game of Obscurio. I'll make a 4-player setup. First, put the board at the center of the table, then place the progress marker on the first space of the progress track. Choose a player to be the Grimoire for this game. As the Grimoire, you get the desk, 2 butterfly markers, the count holder, and the hourglass. Also shuffle the illusion cards into a deck. Then the Grimoire puts 8 illusion cards face up into the card holder and closes the card holder. Non-Grimoire players, the wizards, must not see these cards. The wizards choose a character card and place it in front of them, then they place their matching token at the center of the board. There is a traitor among the wizards, except in 2 or 3 player games. Take the traitor card. Add as many loyalty cards to match the number of wizards. Shuffle these cards and deal 1 face-down loyalty card to each wizard at random. This card is kept secret to all players but their owner. If you have received the traitor card, well, you are the traitor. Put all trap tokens into the bag. All players choose the game difficulty and adjust the game accordingly. For this video, we will use the 4-player game in beginner mode, which we recommend when discovering the game. Take as many cohesion tokens as listed for your player count and chosen difficulty. At 4 players easy mode, it should be 15 of them. Some of these cohesion tokens, in our player count 5, will go in the dark area of the gauge. This number may vary according to the player count. All of our tokens go into the wider part of the gauge. The remainder of the game components can stay in the box for now. And now you're ready to play Obscurio! Obscurio plays in game rounds, each made of 5 steps. On each round, wizards will solve one of the Grimoire's riddles to find the next room. They win when they have gone across 6 rooms. Step 1. Placing the traps. Traps are of different natures and will trigger abilities which either constrain the Grimoire in the hint giving, or reinforce the traitor's power when it is their turn to act, or mess with the wizards during their phase. At the beginning of each round, draw 1 or more trap tokens depending on the performance of the wizard's last turn. We'll cover that later. On the first turn, draw 1. All drawn traps must take effect during the current turn, although not immediately. Find all trap abilities at the back of the rulebook, page 12. Phase 2. Preparing the riddle. This is a step in which the Grimoire is the only active player. With the help of the illusion cards and the butterfly markers, they will give hints to the wizards to direct them to the card which represents the exit. The Grimoire draws the top illusion card from the deck and secretly looks at it. This is the exit that the wizards must find among the 6 cards which will comprise the riddle. This card is kept face down for now. Then the Grimoire puts the top 2 illusion cards from the deck face up onto the desk. These cards will be used to give hints to the wizards. To do that, the Grimoire will use their 2 butterfly markers to point at 1 or 2 elements on these pages. They may use one of their markers or both. the butterflies can be placed on the same card or on both. The grimoire can also put their butterflies out of the picture. Placing a butterfly in the bottom corner of either page means the page as a whole is a clue. Once the butterflies are placed, the grimoire gives the desk to the wizards. And the wizards may talk freely about the butterfly markers in the pictures. Here's an example. The grimoire draws that card as the exit card. Then they draw two cards which will serve as canvas for hinting to the exit. With their first butterfly, they decide to point at the window and the creature that's behind, because this could hint at the insects inside the glass case. With their second butterfly, they point at all of the cards, because the tentacles are writhing like the branches of the tree, that the cards have similar color schemes, and that there is a certain depth that is alike in both. Phase 3. Traitor cards. During this phase, the traitor will have the possibility of choosing up to 2 of the 5 cards that will be added to the exit card to make up the riddle. Reminder, the traitor doesn't know the exit card. The grimoire commands the wizards to close their eyes. Once done, the grimoire asks the traitor to open their eyes. The grimoire will perform the necessary actions for the traitor so that the traitor is not unmasked too easily. The grimoire opens the card holder and shows it to the traitor. There are 8 cards, numbered from 1 to 8. The traitor will try and mislead the wizards by selecting cards that could pass as the exit card, according to the butterfly tokens. The traitor may choose a first card with their fingers. The grimoire then places that card face down on top of the exit card and draws a replacement card from the deck. The traitor may choose a second card, proceed as you did with the first card, and replace the card if needed. The grimoire closes the card holder and the traitor closes their eyes. Finally, the grimoire commands the wizards to open their eyes. Let's follow up with our example. The traitor selects this card because the hands that come out of the ground may seem similar to the tentacles that come out of the ground on the hint card. The arches could be interpreted as windows, and the 2 cards have aquatic life forms. Then they select the second card because of the colors, which are fairly similar to the hint card, and because of the light which beams through an opening in both cards. Phase 4. Choosing the doors. During this phase, the wizards are going to try and find the exit card, which will allow them to advance to the next room. The grimoire takes the exit card, the cards chosen by the traitor, if any, draws illusion cards to reach a total of 6 cards. In our example, 3 cards, as the traitor has selected 2 cards. They shuffle them before giving them to the wizards, who deal them out face up in the numbered spaces, which are the 6 doors. The wizards should now find the exit card, discussing butterfly clues and potential exit cards. However, time is running out. As soon as the first card is dealt on the door, the grimoire flips the send timer and places it onto the first space of the time track, on top of the card holder. If it runs out, flip it and advance it on the next space. If it runs out while on the last space of the track, this step immediately ends. It can also end if all wizards tell the grimoire they are happy with their chip allocation. When one of the wizards thinks they know where the exit is, they simply place their chip there, on the doorway. Wizards don't have to stick together, and they may choose different doors, but they will lose some cohesion tokens by doing so. This brings the traitor closer to victory. Once the allocation step has ended one way or the other, the grimoire reveals the correct door. If at least one of the wizards is right, all wizards advance to the next door. Move the progress marker 1 space forward. If the progress marker reaches the last space of the progress track, the watch trap is now active for the remainder of the game. This trap is not linked to any token, and will restrict further player communication during step 4. Wizards cannot speak anymore and will place their token at the same time. The group loses 1 cohesion token from the gauge for each wizard who hasn't chosen the right door, or who hasn't chosen any door. Each lost cohesion token is given to the player who has caused the loss, and should be placed onto their character card, making an accusation. Cohesion is taken from the bigger part of the gauge first, when the wizards select the wrong door. When there is none left in the bigger part of the gauge, immediately trigger this extra step. The wizards start looking for a traitor amidst their ranks. Flip the hourglass. Wizards have 1 minute to discuss and find a traitor. Then, on the count of 3, all wizards point fingers at a player of their choice to accuse them. Tally votes. The player or players with the most votes reveal their loyalty card, and if they are not the traitor, 2 cohesion tokens are lost. If the traitor is not found, players start their special phase over. If the traitor is exposed, they remove their chip from the board and can't place their chip onto doors anymore. However, they may still add cards to the grimoire's riddle, also doubting the wizards' minds with table talk. Step 5. End of the round. All illusion cards on the table are discarded and trap tokens are placed back into the bag. All wizards place their chips at the center of the board. Then take another turn going back to step 1. Don't forget to draw 1 trap plus the number shown by the hourglass. The game can end 2 ways. Either the last cohesion token is lost from the gauge, the traitor wins alone, or the wizards manage to move out of the progress track with at least 1 cohesion left. Loyal wizards and the grimoire player win together. Let's sum it up. Step 1. Draw traps. Step 2. The grimoire draws the exit card, places 2 cards face up in the desk, and places their butterfly markers. Step 3. The traitor selects up to 2 cards from the card holder. Step 4. The wizards should discuss and select doors in limited time. The grimoire reveals the exit, advance, and all lose cohesion. Once per game, Traitor Accusation. Step 5. Prepare for a new game round. You now know everything you need for your first game of Obscurio. So have a nice game and see you soon on Tutovox.fr.